Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Every discussion from experience, and hopefully within it delivers some deliverance. It's all facts and opinionated, from the west where that real spit originated. Brothers truly trying to save a soul, provoke thought so we can really designate a goal. We on that grown man scribble, the ball in our court with command on the dribble. This is something that'll help us show, cause it's something that'll help us grow. We see exactly what the people need. Now welcome to the show, Spitting Policies. Welcome to the show, Spitting Policies. Welcome to the show, Spitting Policies. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Spitting Policies.
Welcome back to Spitting Policies.
As Kevin would put it, spitting policies.
Yes. And tonight's show is about have we overcome? First of all, let's do our weekly check-in. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I probably need that. Yeah, let's do our weekly check-in. We're going to start down at the far end. And we're going to let this guy that's coming in tell us how his week is and while he's fashionably CP time late. So, Kevin, how was your week, bro?
Man. Busy as always. Being a dad. Senior night. Sons is playing right now. Had to leave. Skip out on them during halftime. So forgive me, but I am a dad. So
a single dad at that.
Yeah. Yes, sir, I am.
Yes.
Yep.
Trevor, how are you doing, brother?
Well, I'm going to say this. All week I have been collecting blessings. That's my term, my phrase in theology that I live by. And I think God has been covering me with other fellow well-groomed, humble, organized businessmen that want to plant seeds into each other's future with. And I have seen so many things this week as if God has revealed some anointings to me and my friends. So I must say, man, I all week I just been collecting blessings, and I got two blessings on each side of me right now. Two gentlemen that I admire so much. Some guys that I hold in high regards, and some guys that I want to give their accolades to now while they can give them their roses while they can smell them. I want to introduce the gentleman to the right of me. His name is Mark Ford. Mark Ford is a young soldier, in my opinion, that has gone through some adversities, dealt with some adversities in life, may not have had an upbringing that was so, I guess, flooded with blessings, but I've seen him go through so much, and I've seen him do so well, and I've also seen him accomplish so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce first the gentleman to my right. His name is Mark Ford. Mark, you can go ahead and tell us how your week is, and introduce yourself, if you will.
Sheesh, man. Blessed and highly favored, as are we, as we all are. Could not be more grateful to be in the company of such amazing men. I want to say that I am truly grateful to be in the company of you guys. I think I've always been like the little homie, like y'all have really raised me. I can't lie, like y'all picked up where a lot of family members left off, and just showed me what family is about, showed me what community is about, showed me, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. And look, little bro, you don't have to do this. You don't have to, do that. And I think I'm one of the first generation of you guys, I guess big brother lineage, Like, I've definitely benefited from all your advice, all your kinship, your fellowship, your love, and, man, you guys have been great to me. So thank you for it, man. I'm honored to be here with you.
Mark, man, for sure,
salute.
man.
Worked at the shop, man. I've known you for what? 15 years now, 16 years now. At least. And, man, from like, early 20s to early 40s now, I can't say that I'm not the man that I am without y'all. So
Amen.
I remember I came in a couple weeks ago and somebody reached out and was talking about I think they called in and said, what do you think about mentorship for young black men? And I just wanted to jump through the window and answer like, yo, can I answer that? Because I know what y'all meant to me. You know what I'm saying? So mentorship is
Amen.
everything. So salute to y'all.
And the next gentleman that is to the left of me, I had met him when he was, I would say, roughly about how old?
13.
Okay. Let me tell you something about this guy. I can't call him a jerk because he's evolved since then. But here's the thing.
I'm a more mature jerk.
Trip this. Trip this. I'm going to tell you a quick story that kind of enhanced the bond between me and this guy. So listen, when we were
You
younger.
gonna tell that story?
I'm going to tell it because you hurt me
Go
a
ahead.
little bit.
Go ahead.
You hurt me a little bit.
Help
and
yourself, bro. Your story.
whatever. So look, here's how it goes, folks. We were kind of young, and we all had Jettas. I think amongst us, we had Jettas and Volkswagen.
He had a Cutlass.
a Cutlass.
Yeah. He had a Cutlass.
I had a Cutlass. But
okay.
With
the leather roof.
Yeah,
the
with the
leather
leather
roof. So to help me introduce some of you that are out of state, some of my friends in Canada, some in Atlanta and Texas and Colorado.
And I have a couple in Dubai. Yeah,
Just so you guys know, he has a couple of friends in Dubai.
Yeah, a couple.
So at any rate, we had this place called Fox Hills Mall, but now it's called what? Westfield Mall, something like
Yeah,
that.
Westfield
it's Fox-
Shopping
it's
Center
Fo-
or
it's still
something
Fox
like
Hills.
that.
To me. So
It's
let's
still
it's
Fox
it's
Hills
still-
that's still getting shot, but that's why. Go ahead.
When we were younger, we all used to get up, go out. We had the Jettas waxed and cleaned and cut, and everybody had haircuts or whatever else in one Centra. And then we would go up to Fox Hills Mall, and here's the thing amongst us when we were young and dumb. We used to go out and see who came up with the most numbers or the most females and all of that. Now, here's the
I
thing.
cannot believe you telling this story.
I'm going to
Go
tell the
ahead.
story.
And can you make it
What you mean, how you
shorter?
gonna know?
Golly, you
What do you
telling
mean?
us-
Everybody else is intrigued. Why you got to have a wall?
Go ahead,
You
bro.
always
Go
gotta
ahead.
go down to 4
Go
or
ahead.
5. And,
traffic right now.
yeah.
Mind
come on,
you, how we're like 8, 9 years apart, right?
Right.
All right.
So
Go
here's
ahead.
the thing.
I'm
So-
younger than Eddie.
He's the youngest one. He's the
right.
baby of the clique. So we go in, and I said, hey, look, if I don't get more numbers than you, you can kick me square in the tail. You kick
Posterior.
I see you kick my ass. If you get more numbers than me, boy, you kick my ass. And here's what happened. It just so happened I have a tender
don't sound
spot
good.
right now that I have to sit on one cheek at a time.
And can I
Because-
apologize for that
because-
though? Because I didn't know that it was like supposed to be like a soft
no,
kick.
but see, here's
like
the
I
thing.
didn't know.
It was
Like
supposed to
I
have
had
been-
no idea.
It was
Like I
supposed to
was.
have been a ginger
man,
kick.
dude.
But here's the thing.
That was my first time.
It was supposed to have been a cool little, friendly kick in the air. But no, Al found it upon himself with his young, viral, full of testosterone ass to go ahead and use his big toe. Now I pee and stutter.
And you
I
you
pee-
enjoyed it. You probably enjoyed it. That was the start of something.
You set yourself up for that.
Yeah,
set yourself up
yeah,
for that.
yeah. You set yourself up.
Yeah, you did.
Now,
Now get him. I tried to warn him the whole time. Go ahead.
now
So-
he's grown. Can he?
So
tell
at
me
any
the
rate,
story?
no, because
Can
Al
he tell
and I
the
can't
story?
do that. No,
Okay,
he can
all right,
finish the
got
story
it.
if he wants to. Go ahead. You want to add to tell your part of the story.
No.
But anyway, Al hurt me when I was younger. So now Al has evolved, and let me tell you about some of the things that he has done. Al, other than he modeled for me for a couple of hair shows before, but Al, he had.
Oh, that's why you bought it. Dirty Clippers.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's the last time you get a
fact.
shave. So Al now, man, is one of the.
Al, would you like to tell your own story now?
He
'Cause
does.
he introduced
Al doesn't
you.
do that. He's too humble to do that.
No. Can you tell us where you are now, brother?
Okay, go ahead, brother. Other
Tell us
than
where-
being
Oh,
a
my
part
God.
of the Watts League and being a pastor, what are some of the things that you're doing now, Al? Preacher.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Al.
Thanks, Kev, because definitely need to correct that one.
There's a
I'm-
difference. I apologize.
I'm an associate minister, Bethel Missionary Baptist Church, in the same city, which we in Watts. I work for a marketing agency now, and our
the projects that we work on, one of them is the Drew League, and we get a chance to market and to be involved with some of the athletes that come back to LA to give back to our community in that way. You know, I was an athlete and was kind of struggling to figure out how was I going to stay in athletics? How was I going to still use my athletic mind and skills to be involved in the athletic sports, and found my niche in marketing.
Okay.
And then when I found my niche in marketing, it was easy for me to tell the stories of an athlete because I've been one for so long. And generally, all the brands now are marketing to inner city athletes because we spend the most money. So I found a niche in understanding consumers and being able to tell stories and using brands' money to do it.
Amen. Well, this is how my week has been. So I applaud these two gentlemen.
Thank you for having me too. I didn't get a chance to say that. Thank you. A lot like you, Mark. These dudes kind of raised me, and I say that in every sense of the word. I mean, Kev, we went to church together. Kanoon, we went to church together.
But you kicked me.
Yeah, that was in love. It was in love.
You don't let him talk, I'm gonna kick you.
It was in love, bro. It was in love. Like I think I actually met this group of guys.
Are you gonna cry?
He kicked
I'm about to make you cry. I met these group of guys at a pivotal point, right? My dad died, and I was looking for male figures. Like I was searching. Like I could have found them in the hood, or I could have found them at church in the barbershop. And they took me under their wings. Yeah. I think that was one of the first times I'd ever been to the Fox Hills Mall. I grew up in Compton. The Fox Hills Mall was like going to San Diego.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because some children and some young people in the inner city have never even seen the beach.
You dig me? You dig what I'm saying?
And
So for somebody to show me that there's another way to be productive and to have the things that you want outside of the lowriders and outside of the drugs, because I saw that, but I never saw them retire. Right? I never saw them get married and have kids and not have to go to jail and not have to get shot. I never saw that part of drug dealing. Had I saw that part of drug dealing, truth be told, I probably would sold drugs. If they could have showed me that they could retire, have a family, I would have slung.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
They were making money. They had the girls, they had the nice cars. If they could have showed me that they retired, I wouldn't have been nowhere near here.
Well, we're glad that we helped be the conduit for you to come from that into where you are now, brother.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. So, Kanoon, man, tell us about your week. How did your week go?
My week went well.
Amen, ladies and gentlemen. So now, to jump right into our topic.
Yeah, that's why I had a short answer, because I knew you were going to come with some shenanigans. No, I had a lovely week. Great business meetings. I'm always looking to set another bar, thriving and going forward in what I'm doing, And sometimes that takes a little struggle, but it's a good challenge, I always laugh at challenges because I know that I can overcome them. And in that, just the whole week has been, it had some challenges, but it's always a lesson in the challenge, and I just have to think about what I'm going to learn in that lesson.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Okay. Kev, you want to go ahead and elaborate on our topic and overview of the show today?
Being that this is Black History Month, we celebrating us, but I celebrate us 12 months out the year.
Yes, sir.
Not just in February, because that's one thing that don't ever change, is my color. So,
well,
I
you
think
can get bleaching cream.
Well, no, I'm good.
They could change you.
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna die like this. I came in the world like this. No, I'm good. I like this mocha color.
Bro, I know he's gonna get in your feelings.
Hey, look, if you
Matt Barnes,
I'm not okay.
all right.
I'm just logical.
logical.
All
I'm
right,
just
bro.
trying to make sense out of how I'm not the same color as you.
Okay, so if
I wish we had a
anybody in
replay.
there, if anybody that's listening to us, when you do call in, if you do call in, if you think
Tell me.
Brother Mark and Brother Al have the same hue,
I'm looking at this.
please call in
Bro,
and let us know.
if anything, you got a hat on with no glare trying to get darker. That's cool though. Let's go. That's cool. You got good hair. Take your hat off, bro.
Yeah, right.
later.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Kev.
Well, anyway,
brother.
Yeah, y'all got to know the history in order, but
Of the
join
friendship.
in though. But
Know the history of this
we,
friendship.
one of the topics that we come with is how far have we come? As black people, as black men,
And have we over?
and have we overcome?
Yeah.
Because still looking at some of the things that's going on today, is you struggle with that. Some of the things that we still dealing with the police brutality and just how we're treated. The playing field is in my opinion still not yet leveled. So we've been running uphill since way back. So but we still here. We still strong. I think we even stronger now. The minds and all of that. So I'm just pass it out there and how do y'all feel about it?
Okay. What's your view on it, Mark? Or better yet, when we're talking about how far we have come, or they say we've overcome, and some people even say that one of the detriments to us was the civil rights and things of that nature. And I firmly believe that some other special interest groups have benefited from our plight, our hard work, or whatever else. But there's been actually 7 times in American history where we've done extremely well. One of the most known, but not as well known, is, or should be known, is the riots of 1921 in Tulsa, when we owned things. So that in and of itself said a lot, and some people haven't heard about it, don't know about it, but they, by the blessing of the show, they may find out about, or even be encouraged to read up on what happened during the riots of 1921. Mark, you care to give your input?
Yeah. So my answer is pretty much my answer to everything these days is yes and no. There's 2 sides to every coin. What I'm learning is, and I would say yes in the fact that, look at the strides. We're better than our parents, and our children will be better than us. That's what we set out to do. So I truly believe that the powers that be have set up different roadblocks, but we have overcome each obstacle. So, shout out to Marcus Garvey, shout out to Harriet Tubman, shout out to Frederick Douglass. All of these people have put in place different things and broke down barriers for us. However, now look at Cap. Now look at, you got different things now that you must stride and break down from generation to generation, and gerrymandering and redistricting and redlining and gentrification and all those things are still happening to this day. And, it's just a thing that we have to teach our children to avoid and go over, through, or under, or around to put in place things that basically will provide for your children's children to,
Right.
persevere.
It even says a great
And
man
prosper.
leaves an inheritance to his children's children.
Yes.
Right. And one of the things that I think that we should
Says a
have
good
is,
man, but go ahead.
I think, a good man.
But you can
But
use great.
one
Go
of,
ahead.
one of the things that I think about is we should, once we have a sense of ownership or brotherhood or self-love, we too will have a sense of entitlement. Now, entitlement doesn't necessarily mean that this is mine, I get that, and I'm privileged. However, if I feel entitled, I cannot let my brother fall.
But you got to have
I-
a moral code and a moral standard in place as well.
as well. But that comes with once you realize that I love you and this you belong to me. So if my brother
But you got to
gets,
love yourself and your community as well. Too.
exactly, but when you do that, you'll know that hey man, I can't leave a 40-ounce bottle at the stoplight. I know I can't park in the red while my girl go in the store.
You can. You
I
just
know I
shouldn't.
can't let my girl pump the gas. There's a certain way you treat each other once you have a sense of unity and a sense of family. So I believe the things that have been done to African Americans in America is an evil genius. What's your insight?
I think a lot of what you're saying, for me, comes to value, right? When you think about self-value and how you value yourself, a lot of our value system has come from material. It comes from our title, come from our zip codes. It is our value is an internal thing. When I grew up in Compton. I'm originally from Louisiana. My value came from my last name. I didn't want to mess up my last name. You know what I'm saying? My
Yeah, for
mom,
sure, for sure.
my dad got on his knees and worked on a car, and for me, I have his name. So I had a value in the name and what was inside of me. So if I didn't have the latest and greatest, yeah, I like it, I want it, but my value came from my person is more important. I'm not gonna put myself on a corner. I'm not gonna put myself in harm's way because I'm more important, right? So I think that the value system has to be there. And I actually don't like the word entitled. I have a big issue with the word entitled.
So do I.
Because we see it fight against us so often. People have an expectation that things belong to them that they didn't earn, that things belong to them that they didn't discover. Like there's just a connotation that come with the word entitled that I fight.
In that sense,
Have we overcome, right? And I think about the word that question. Have we overcome? Like I think we're in a lot of ways delusional. Like I think we've overcome because we have jobs and because we know that we have some amenities to our lives and we live a bit better than our parents did. But are we really in a space where we could feel comfortable? I tell you, I know, because as soon as the lights come on behind you, your blood pressure go up, bro. Soon as the lights come on,
They don't even have to come on.
Yeah, that's how I know I have to
They
overcome.
behind you.
Because soon as you get behind me, soon as the lights come on, my blood pressure goes up.
And you ain't did nothing wrong.
And I don't know if that's it for me. And that's a true story.
Period.
July 1st,
In that sense,
2019, 43-year-old man. I ain't been in a game at all. My car's registered. I got tinted windows. I get pulled over at gunpoint. Pulled out the car. I got a baby seat in the Bible in my car, bro. I get pulled over. So this is real life. At this point, truth be told, I was arrogant. I felt like I had overcame. Like, nah, man, that ain't my life. Like that's their life. That's how they rolling. They bringing it on themselves by how they moving and how they rolling. Me, no, I ain't rolling like that. I ain't got no wheels. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? My car, I'm cool. Bro, I got a gun put to my head. I got pulled to the gate.
Now, in that sense, I definitely feel you.
Overcome?
But my thing is, I'm not saying that we have overcome necessarily that, and I'm not saying that we're entitled to that extent.
I got you. Sorry about that.
First, you're gonna kick me, then you're gonna slap me. So then,
You deserve them both.
I think.
Yeah, man, he didn't get no numbers. He didn't say nothing about that. Own the fact that you didn't get enough numbers.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It was a competition and you lost.
I lost a competition.
Don't go back to that,
but
I'm
he didn't
trying
have
to
to
put
kick
that
me
in
that
there.
hard.
Own it, bro. You ain't never forgot that kid. You know what I'm saying?
Or the bike, Lavelle.
ain't taking
So
y'all nowhere with
all
me.
I'm saying is when we start loving each other and then start working as a team, and it'll change the mentality, and we'll feel as if we can do something about our situation versus letting a situation happen to us. So with your perspective, I definitely agree for sure.
Trevor, it sound like, have you been pulled over before?
Yes,
You have?
yes,
Have you had guns drawn on you before?
yes.
You sued him though, right? Cause
I was
you
young.
had the resources
I was
to
young.
like sue.
I
No,
was
seriously,
young.
I'm not joking.
I was young. when it
So
happened.
as an adult, so as an owner of a business, as an owner of a house, as a parent, as a dad, how demoralizing do you think it is for somebody to pull you out the car and treat you like you have just robbed somebody?
It happened when
Only
I was.
because
It
of
happened.
this.
It happened when I was about. I'll say about. It happened about when I was 40. It happened, but because of my, I believe that anything done with intelligence, ignorance has a less of an influence. So, as I was being tested, as I got pulled out of the car, I kept asking the officer quite a few questions. So, after a period of time, they wanted me to, get in the back of the car or whatever else. But I kept asking, hey, don't worry about it. You just keep doing, you're just doing your job. So, after a period of time, when I started questioning him again, he got a little irritated. He
So
got a
you was
little upset.
patronizing them.
Yeah, I was. So I'm like, okay, because I want you to make sure that you know what you're doing. So now I'm about to incriminate you, and the lieutenant said, okay, you can let him go. So after they said let him go, I said, okay, you can call Big Fish bail bonds. He's like, no, you don't have to bail yourself out. I said, I don't have to bail myself out. I heard you. So I called Big Fish bail bonds. They said, Trev, stop tripping, and hung up in my face. So I told the officer to call back. So the officer said, hey, wait, man, you don't have to bail out. I said, I'm not bailing out. I'm calling my business partner. Oh shit. Tell you what, just go to court. Just show up in court, but you'll be fine. No. You show up to court, and also have officer such and such show up to court. And it just so happens that Brian, the guy that had 3/5 of snot dripping from his nose, because you guys pepper sprayed him for the third time, have him show up too. But you know what? I know his first and last name because you guys said it, so I'll look him up. So you show up in court. So I gave the officer that arrested me a rundown of his history, and I asked him, because he told me to stop talking. Oh, he said, shut up. I said, I said, that's awesome. I don't need you to talk anymore because you just answered 12 questions from a drunk man. Or are you arresting me for being drunk? Or are you arresting me for being black drunk?
Yeah.
You know what,
So it was
I'm
just
glad
intelligence.
You ended it, 'cause I was thinking that you remember that Fresh Prince episode when Carlton and Will drove
Yeah. Going to Philly?
going and drove Uncle Phil's boss car and the thing was so when you was saying that, oh, he's just doing his job. That's what came directly to me, but I'm glad you finished it the way that you did.
You know what
Yeah,
scares
but
me
I
about
got
that
at
story,
him,
though? You know what absolutely frightens me about that story? Is that to engage with the officers in a way on the street where you antagonize them and provoke them, you don't have any recourse or control of the outcome.
Right.
Zero. Like our young people listening and watching this will say, hey, I can argue. I can banter back and forth with him. You know what I'm saying? I can try to catch him into something. And the reality is they can't because he's
Right.
God on the street.
Yeah.
When he got a gun and you on the other side of it, he God. And
He in
you need to
control.
you need to get to a
He got the
place,
upper hand.
and the only place you can fight him is actually in court. Because you can't negotiate on the street.
You got to make it there.
You know what I'm saying? You got to make it there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want people to think like, oh yeah, I can just, you know what I'm saying? I can banter with him. I can upset him. I can do all that. I can pick at him. And reality is, what you need to do is just let him get to you getting you a ticket so you can go on about your business and get to court, bro.
I think it's the understanding of the law too. So understanding what he can do and what he can't do. There's people that understand way far greater than me that understand the law. They should. Why are they pulling you out of a car?
Right.
If there's no reason for them to pull you out of a car, the police will always try to ask you stories to entrap you. Can you open your trunk? No, I can't open my trunk.
But like
I'm not
I
willing
said,
to.
anything done with intelligence, ignorance has less of an
As
impact.
God is my witness,
But
I'm agreeing with y'all.
Yeah,
I'm agreeing with y'all.
but it's understanding the law.
I said less of it. Less.
But just like you were saying,
agreeing, bro.
just like you were saying, Al, because I was that one, and yeah, I was in the streets gangbanging, but my tags was always registered. I made sure
a law-abiding gangbanger.
Right? Yeah. Because I mean, I used to get bumped up we used to call it bumped up. I used to get stopped pretty much every day, every other day. That came so routine.
You probably had Super Grip on the back.
No,
of
no,
your,
no. I didn't. That was dang. You just telling people where I'm. No,
That's
Whoa,
not-
whoa,
I'm
they
just-
know what
I
it
said
is.
probably.
They know what it is. But the thing is, cars, all that. And it wasn't. It was just harassment. That's pretty much all it was, and it still is. But I had to graduate from that because I would challenge them.
Yeah.
You know, every single time. Because for one, I know I'm clean. I know my license is clean. My car is registered. You know, so you just looking for something. So that used to piss me off. You know, it's like, okay, well you sweating me, you finna give me, I'm finna give it to you right back. So what you wanna do? So, but we still, times is a little bit different now, but we still, our young people are still doing that. I have to, and it's to the point to where we have to give our kids, young men, instructions on how to deal with them. You know, when it's like, why do I have to do that? But then we see it on news all the time. Black men is getting gunned down with a cell phone, but then you got a white man with an AR-15, and you're trying to talk. What's going on? What is the problem? You okay? But you just gunned down this young man because he had a phone.
It don't
he
even
get
matter if
death
you're
duty.
right,
you
bro.
thought,
And
It
he
don't
get
even matter
death
if you're
duty.
right. It don't
Man.
matter if you're right.
right? It
Like,
doesn't.
being right
Okay.
don't matter.
So
All right.
So-
I want to encourage. Go ahead.
So
Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying. So I feel Al when, no, we haven't. You
So
know,
we can do
haven't.
something about
We
it.
just have to learn how to maneuver around it.
We
I
got
mean,
better
just-
jobs. We
that-
make
that's-
more money.
Right? Yeah.
Like we in
as
more
a whole,
affluent
or-
community. Like, but the true statistic is our home ownership rate is as low as it was when we first were emancipated.
Right.
Like today, 2020 statistics say that
Really?
our ownership for homes is lower than it's ever been.
Really?
Ever.
Okay.
You know
So
why
there-
I
there's
ended?
some
Let me tell you
characteristics
something real
of
quick.
not-
You know why I ended up being in the streets? I wasn't homeless. I'm just like, it's because back in 1970, my mom went to Westchester to look for a home and found the home and everything for them to tell her, we don't sell
We
to
don't sell.
blacks.
That's okay.
That was just in 1970.
And it happened to me in 1991. They wouldn't let me. They wouldn't sell
No.
me a house in
How about-
Westchester. I had to buy in Culver City.
How about up until recently? I went to go buy that restaurant that was over there by that's now Fiesta Martin. I went to go buy that. I asked them if would they be willing to sell the building or yada yada yada. They did not return. They did not return a email, a text message, or a phone call. So which will bring us into okay. We'll put a bookmark there if that's fair with you guys. But I believe Kanoum had something else. That
No,
he
no.
wanted
I
to
was just
mention.
wanted to encourage our listening audience to call in and give their input on. Do you think overall in America, and we're just talking about in America, have Africans in America, have we overcome?
I
You
think
know, because we during the civil rights and everything, we think that we're so far removed from that was a time that we like, oh, we're marching and yada yada yada. We've overcome. So I really want to hear from
Okay.
our listening audience as well. So I want to get a census on like what people feel like they've overcome, because it seems like we're in agreement that we haven't really overcame.
Well, my thing is, I think we've overcome, like I said in the beginning, we overcame 7 times in American history, but 7 times in American history, America imploded on us. And that's kind of like
back up.
fucked up.
But the enemy reinvents itself. I mean, and you
Ex-
every time,
right,
every
right.
time, like the challenge that you face today won't necessarily be the
Hey.
challenge that you face.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our first caller. Caller, please state your name, your question, and your comment. And after you do that, we're going to start off with, we're going to go into some of the people that we looked up or researched this week. Yeah, state your name, your question, or your comment, please.
Oh, my name is Shan Wiggins.
Hey, hey.
Hey,
Hey.
Hey, Miss
Welcome.
Wiggins.
Welcome.
Hi. So I have a comment. Well, to answer the overall question, no, I don't think we have overcome. But here's my thing. We have the ability to overcome because in this time, as in different times, we have in this era, we have more millionaires, black millionaires and billionaires and college graduates than we ever have. Black women lead the statistics in college graduates at this time. So we have the financial power and the educational power to help us overcome, but we don't exercise it.
Okay.
We're still not the
great
reach one,
segue.
teach one party. That's still not us. That's
okay.
still not us. I have a lot of friends of different ethnicities, and the way they move, they end up where they have the whole family own a home because they do what they have to do to make sure that everybody owns a piece of property. Black families still have that dichotomy where you got the one rich uncle or the one rich auntie or the one cousin that's balling, and and it's a couple of them that's doing real bad, and here they go again. We got to help them again. We don't do things within our own clans to level the playing field so that it can trickle down. That's why we're not fully overcome yet. We have not exercised the power that we have to help us overcome. If we're the lowest percentage in home ownership, that's a problem. Magic Johnson is a billionaire. Robert Johnson is a billionaire. They can buy up a little block and give away houses and say, here, you got a house, fix it, build it, live in it, take the house, take the equity, and buy more property. They could set up programs like that. They have them in the South. Rich black folks in the South, they move different than they do out here. So we have to start exercising the power that we have now to help us overcome. We can't look for it to come from other places and other races and other people. It's not going to happen. It's only going to happen with us. We have to help us overcome. Now, there are certain powers that be that we probably will never be able to get the respect and the treatment that we deserve, mainly like police, government, government type things.
So with the
but there's enough of us even in those areas to start doing something about it. But, customarily with African Americans, we don't posse up like we need to. We just don't.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your
call.
We appreciate it.
To
Bye.
me,
Bye-bye.
I just got this thing where I feel like we blame each other a bit too much, and I feel like
just blame me.
You kicked me.
But
you kicked me.
Go ahead.
Like blaming the rape, like even they have this term called blaming the rape. You know what I'm saying? Like
The rape
or
victim?
victim blaming. Like
Blaming the rape victim?
yes,
The victim blaming.
yeah, victim blaming. Yeah. So what I'm saying is we can't blame ourselves if she just literally said out of her mouth like if others will never. She said it strongly too. Never get we won't get the respect from them, and they're not going to help us. Like how are we going to learn to help ourselves if generations prior to us, they've always, the others that she was speaking about, they've helped each other for generations. We have been destroyed for generations. We're just now coming back together.
I'll say the enemy comes in a different form, for one.
Correct.
And then for two, we also
reinvents itself.
the enemy reinvents itself. Okay, but for two, what I did say at the beginning of it was, what has been done to African Americans is an evil genius. So you're right.
Yeah, it's a business. It's systemic. Like before it was slavery, now it's mass incarceration. Like it's a reinvention of what already was.
From school to jail.
Yeah.
Pipeline.
So let me just touch on that. We are more educated. Yeah, we have more wealth, right?
Few and far in
but
between.
ignorance doesn't change, and again, it becomes individual. It's an individual scenario. Like I can't want for you more than you want for yourself.
Correct.
Right? So if I have
Well
a
said.
cousin who doesn't want for himself, but every time he gets in trouble, I'm the breadwinner and I have to bail out, and if I'm looked at differently if I don't, then that's an individual issue amongst family.
I think they call that the black tax.
Black tax.
We
But I'm
gotta pay
saying,
black
so
tax.
but I love what she's saying because it really ties into. I'm not sure we're about to go into this, but but you asked me about Muhammad, right?
Okay, so what? Okay.
Yeah, you asked
We
me.
can go
You
from
asked
there.
me
So
about Muhammad.
You can elaborate on Muhammad, and I think Mark, you were someone of interest to you was
Bob Marley, right?
Okay, so Taylor, what we'll do is,
So
we'll put a bookmark there, and then
No, it's a direct tie-in.
so
a
it's
direct
bleeding
tie-in.
into that
Just
topic.
go
Please
into
direct
it.
to
Go
it.
into it, brother.
So Muhammad,
Shut up,
so
man.
Muhammad, you asked me about Muhammad Ali, and he was the best fighter, right, at the time. He was the hero of all of athletes, right? And he took it upon himself to say, you know what, money is important, boxing is important, but you know what's more important? Standing up for us, right?
Period.
Right? So at some point, there has to be something greater for us, more important for me and my own convictions than just my bread and just my title, for my own personal.
Period.
Right? At some point, and I when I think about Muhammad, my first thought isn't necessarily I'm the greatest. My first thought when you hit me was him, Bill Russell, Kareem, Jim Brown sitting at that table when he was about to go to jail, and they all put their stuff on the line.
They
and
rolled.
they said, but they were activists. Like they were fighting for something more important than themselves.
They use their platform for something greater than themselves. They help fulfill their purpose with each other.
They were seeing these things firsthand. Like now,
We're
it's
seeing
so,
them.
it's so systemic.
We're seeing them.
Yeah, but these kids don't get it.
We have to win.
Not to cut you off, but let me show you.
The kids may not get it, but we have
We need them.
we have influential billionaires now, right? Who won't go to the table at law enforcement, who won't go to the table at education at the district for education. We have people with power, with authority. Look, watch this. I work with it, and I hate to say this, and I'm on live TV, so y'all can get it, whatever. But I can imagine what if all the athletes that came from LA went down to the LAUSD and say, you know what, our inner city schools don't have no books. We came from these schools. We're not gonna stand for it. What if they went? What if they went to the mayor and was like, hey, we need this piece of land to build and turn it into a playground? Do you not think that'll get done? It won't cost them $1. It'll cost them influence. You know what I'm saying? Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, Muhammad Ali said, I'm willing to go to jail and use my influence.
Period. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another caller. Please state your name, your question, and your comment, and we do appreciate it. Go ahead.
Hi, gentlemen. My name is Marcia, and basically, I have a comment. In regards to, how we overcame. I think one of the issues is that as a people, our children don't understand our history, and I think if you don't understand your history, you're going to be first of all destined to repeat it, right? And then if they don't have examples, as the guy I think is in Al said, if we're so busy, I got my degree, I made my money, I got mine, and it comes about me and mine, and I don't care about anybody else, then that's the problem. You look at other nationalities, they know how to come together on important topics. It's not necessarily, we're not going to agree on everything, but there are important topics, right? Who are our leaders? Or who's going to stand up? We're the leaders, right? We're our leaders in our company, in our community. Who's willing to be a leader, right? We get so caught up on, well, it's not happening to me. People are reactive. Well, not until my son is shot. Now I care. Right. Oh my goodness. What are we going to do? Are we going to rally together? Right? Not until I experience discrimination. Okay, now I want to take a flight. It shouldn't be that way. There has been a disconnect between the civil rights movement and where we are today. And until we are willing to, number one, teach our children our history, but then how many of us know our history? Really, honestly. Right. What do we know about our history? Do we appreciate our history?
Even in college, we weren't getting credit.
There's so many different issues that I think that we're missing, and until we're willing to face them head on, we're going to be stuck. And we're stuck in a comfortable position because there's no pressure. If there's no pressure applied, nobody's going to make a move.
Okay. Where are you calling from?
From Dallas, Texas.
You calling all the way from where?
Dallas.
Dallas.
Texas.
Dallas, Texas. Thank you for your phone call,
Thank you.
I really appreciate you.
Would you like to finish your point about Muhammad? Were you finished with your point?
I mean, first, that's the first thing that came to mind. His willingness to sacrifice his own personal glory.
I mean, he gave up the title.
Yeah, he gave up. He went 3 years.
Like this ain't
didn't
nothing.
fight.
Yeah, right. I thought that way about Senator Cory Booker.
See that today?
I'm saying, but
Corey-
we're athletes,
Sen-
but we're not activists like that.
Senator Cory
And then,
Booker.
and then the ones that are activists aren't on the top to make enough waves. Like Colin is an activist,
But he's not on
is he
top
really
enough.
is he really powerful enough
Yeah.
to make
Right.
them have
Right.
the respect to
Right.
respond what he did?
Even Jay-Z sat down during this anthem, right?
Bro, don't get me on that.
You know why I say he's not? Just like during that time, how they took that, what he was standing, was kneeling for, and twisted it
Yeah.
and made it their own. And the thing is, my thing, every black player.
Bruh,
in the
that's
whole
my point.
NFL
That's my point.
should have
That's my
followed
point.
that man.
That's my point.
All
Well,
right.
not followed him,
No, I'm saying
but
no,
I'm not
they
saying.
should've stood for-
Took a
I'm
stance.
sure they should have
Yeah,
took a stance.
exactly.
They should have taken a stance. That's why they all. If you're not at the table, you own the table, my bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're not at the table, if they took a seat at the table, and Muhammad wasn't even talking, Jim was speaking for him. You know what I'm saying? And they were the most powerful black men on their stages.
Period.
So
Right now,
Man.
So-
this is
they were activists.
I get that.
It's
Now,
not more
but
than
the thing
athletes.
is, okay, remove that athlete,
Mm-hmm.
the title.
Right.
Us as black men, period.
Right.
I'm in these streets every single day, fighting for young men and young women.
Absolutely.
You know, so I'm on the front line. I am an activist, and wherever I go,
And I feel the exact same way, B.
And I let people know that
I feel the
am
exact
an
same way.
activist for these young people, because somebody got to do it. And if somebody was to tell me, we would give you everything that you want for these young folks to have a piece of the American dream, to where they don't have to continue to go through this, but it'll cost you one thing. It'll cost you your life. I'm willing to give my life for my kids and my grandkids and your kids and your grandkids to have it better, to where they don't have to be worrying about when the lights is on and that black and white get behind. If that's what it takes, then take my life.
Let me be the sacrifice. I think there are 3 F's, and I've already said this for a while before, Mark goes into
Yeah,
his.
so we could just go on to the next
Your,
person. Yeah, so Mark, what was
gonna
your...
say, I had this point, basically what Al said. I watched an interview years back when Django came out, and Jamie Foxx said when you watch movies before they actually release movies, they do like test screenings.
Test screenings.
So they sampled the movie with people 40 and over. And the amount of times they said the N-word in the movie just really messed with these people. Then the 20 and overs, they were like, what? That was 100 years ago. What y'all tripping off of? So there's a disconnect here with us in the younger generation.
That's what the lady was saying.
Much like, so there's a disconnect beyond
What
belief.
disrespects them,
But
or
like
me,
you said,
don't,
but
they don't
what I
feel
was saying
disrespected
was,
by it.
let me say this: the enemy, like you said, it changes form. What is it again?
Reinvents itself.
Reinvents itself. So they've just come with better and smarter ways to, it's a shell game. They're just hiding, what their plan is. You know what I'm saying? And they hide it from the youth, and then they don't get it. Then they don't get it. Then they don't get it. Then you out here, and it's like, oh, I didn't see this coming. Yeah, too late.
Right.
So, my guy is much like Muhammad Ali in your area is Bob Marley for me. Bob, man, I mean, I've never seen anybody. To me, he was like Prince and Langston Hughes all in one dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
he was poetic and profound, and you know what I'm saying. But he had enough wherewithal to have a vibe and a rhythm to get people to understand a plight. You know what I'm saying? And then unify everybody. So to me, I love what he stood for. And he lost his life, unfortunately, for standing up. And he was used as a political pawn, too, because a lot of these documentaries are not telling the truth about his story.
Yeah.
So,
Well, one of the things that he did, as a matter of fact, because he initially started off with humble beginnings, but he wasn't really making the money that he wanted to. When he finally signed with, I think a guy from either Britain, but he was another nationality that helped him. He started gaining his money, but the home that he bought was in a well-to-do area of Jamaica, and then he had people living there, so it was like a home for like the children, the home for families, and he also had he was married, but he had at least 8 children from out of
So,
bloodline. But he was an
that's-
awesome person. He was, and I don't mean to
no,
say
that's
anything
one of
bad
the things
about
I
it.
was going to tag to this.
Go ahead.
When you get to that level, right, and you have all of this notoriety, you got this bread, you got this influence. Like one of the other challenges that you face is the women. Like Muhammad had 4 wives and 9 kids.
Did he?
And they went out of their way to talk about how many kids and wives he had when I did the research. But you got to understand at that level, like the pressure of the attraction to that platform, right? And a lot of times when you get to that platform, the pressure to both from the women's side as well as society is too much, bro. We talking about Bob Marley had a gang of kids.
That's neither here
Muhammad
nor
had a gang of kids.
That's
I
neither
mean,
here nor there.
I agree it's not here nor there, but I'm saying you got to understand the influence behind that too.
Respect all of it.
Yeah.
The influence.
Respect all of it.
Nah, well, yeah, you asked me to talk about the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's part of it. And then Jalen said something recently when Kobe passed.
Jalen
Rose.
Jalen
He
Rose.
said when Kobe.
Oh, we don't know him on the first name.
Jalen
He's my
Rose.
homeboy.
Jalen Rose said.
Like you.
He's not my homie. Jalen Rose said when Kobe scored his 81 points, at no point did he talk trash. Right? He says the humility in that game made us play him 1-on-1, not double and triple team him. We may have hurt him had he started talking crazy to us, right? Because that's how we are. If somebody start winning, that somebody get hot, our mentality is to hurt them.
Yeah.
That's our mentality. Bring them down. And Muhammad Ali, imagine what he was most flamboyant and boisterous about how good he was. And every single time he went in that ring, he had to face the opponent's best because he talked so much head going in. And I thought about how well he did, knowing that every single time he fought, he got their best because they were looking to destroy and take him down. And that's a lot of us. We don't share how well we're doing because we already know what come with that. We don't share our accolades. One of the reasons why it's so difficult for us to talk about how anything that we've done successfully is because we know what comes with that, bro.
But let me say this:
you're right,
you
bro.
absolutely get a target on your back.
For sure.
But we are the target from every society, like for every civilization,
100.
for every culture. Period.
Yeah.
So
we've
So what I say this to say, bad news travels fast, and a lot of us who are doing well and out here doing the right things, we don't go run around patting ourselves on the back and skipping through the streets like, hey, look at me, I'm the greatest philanthropist and businessman. Yeah, you can't, because you get that target on your back. So you're just trying to do your best for yourself and your fam, and then you try to pull up 1 or 2 here and there, but you got to be, you gotta
Swivel.
You gotta keep that head on the swivel, cause snakes in
my
the grass,
dad taught
man.
me that a long time ago.
Yeah, snakes in the
But
grass.
we have 5 minutes, and
So I'm gonna let y'all have it.
and
Bob Marley.
So-
Let me say this. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Hey man, Bob Marley 75 tomorrow, man. Team Aquarius. Happy
Okay.
birthday,
Wow.
Bob.
Happy
Salute.
birthday, Bob Marley.
happy
Wow.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Thank you for that
Yeah,
information,
yeah,
brother.
yeah. Happy
Yeah,
birthday,
thank
Bob.
you, thank you.
Yeah, we chop.
So
2-6.
we have 5 minutes, and so 4 minutes.
My bad.
So we have the question is, well, the question has been answered. We haven't overcome. So then, what is the resolution, and how do we overcome?
30 seconds siege.
Excuse me.
Education.
So I'm gonna take we could take an answer from everybody, but make it short. We only got 4 minutes.
My word
So
is education. I'm done.
And you said education.
It's us.
It's
It
us.
starts with us.
Just to unity with
Yes,
us.
It starts with us.
Get your
Okay.
mind right and your soul right.
Doing intelligent things.
Doing intelligent things.
Doing what is intelligent.
Reading a book, or what do you?
Doing, not just saying, okay, this is smart, but doing what is smart.
Okay.
Yeah, get some books.
Putting into action.
That could be vague and ambiguous because
It could be, but you got to start somewhere. Either way, it's still right.
Okay. All right.
Each one teach one.
Yeah, I think for me it's a personal responsibility. Like I think each person need to own first themselves and then own the commitment to the next man.
Good answer.
That's
And respect each other too. Yeah. I say education and respect.
education and respect. I would say one of the first things that I've known is if we have to know ourselves. It's to know thyself. They wrote it on the tombs, and it's a very short phrase. Know thyself. So and then the rest of it is to thyself be true. So if you know yourself, and that means not only myself but my lineage and my family and everything like that. I come from a family of blacksmith or whatever. You know what I mean? It's probably in my DNA that I'm be good at blacksmithing. You understand what I'm saying? So, and to know thyself, that way we won't I won't look at him and mad dogging him, because I know myself and I know him, and I'm in love. If you love yourself, when you know yourself, you will love yourself, and you can love the people around you that look like you.
Yes.
And until we do that, we will be always, because it's set up by the design that we should be divisive towards one another. That's by design. Yeah. That's by design. When the enslaved Africans were put here in the Americas, they did horrific things to us to make us hate one another.
Have you ever read the Willie Lynch letters?
Yes.
Wow.
I've read it many times.
Okay.
So
I got a friend that doesn't believe in them.
And well, they say they might be fake, but one thing that
I feel like you can reverse engineer it though.
Yeah.
Like you can see it.
Yeah, you can see everything that's within it. One thing I want to say, and for people to not just take what everybody here has said, but to go and do your own research. Yeah. Right.
Okay,
we got 1 minute, and in doing that, you will find yourself in the research. So many great, prolific people that we haven't even touched tonight that you may not even heard of.
And
go.
With that said, we want to thank our guests and our brothers for coming in, sitting with us at the table. And that's pretty much like what we have to do to start coming to the table, being in the room.
You want to do this?
Yeah. We're back next week. We want to say good night. We want to thank you guys for tuning in, showing us the support, the callers. And go ahead,
I also want to, for this week coming up, we're going to have the intro next week. We're going to have it because it's Valentine's Day coming up. It may be called or entitled the Cupid Confused, and that's what I suggest. But my boy Kanum suggests that it be called Deaf to Cupid. But you guys during the week,
confused?
Cupid is anyway,
bro.
And we also
I might want to rethink that one.
too much, man. Right?
Cupid confused?
Yeah, that might.
Anyway, we also want to say what's up. There's an app coming up by a guy named Damian Spencer. He's also a fire captain for the city of Inglewood, and he also employed an app, a new game called. And we're done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Talk to y'all later, man. Y'all be great.
Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Every discussion from experience, and hopefully within it delivers some deliverance. It's all facts and opinionated, from the west where that real spit originated. Brothers truly trying to save a soul, provoke thought so we can really designate a goal. We on that grown man scribble, the ball in our court with command on the dribble. This is something that'll help us show, cause it's something that'll help us grow. We see exactly what the people need. Now welcome to the show, Spitting Policies. Welcome to the show, Spitting Policies. Welcome to the show, Spitting Policies. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Spitting Policies.